We are calling this meeting to order at 5:01. The NVUSD Board of Education is holding a regular virtual board meeting tonight that all can participate in remotely. You can join via Zoom. Specific directions on how to participate are located on the Board of Education webpage on the district's website, nvusd.org/board. The open session part of the meeting agenda begins this evening at 7 p.m. Before going into closed session, the board is available for public comment on closed session agenda items. Mr. Michaels, is there any public comment on closed session items?
There is no public comment on closed session items.
Thank you very much. Seeing that there are none, the Napa Valley Unified School District will now adjourn into closed session. Thank you, and we'll see you at 7 p.m. Good evening. We are reconvening to open session at 7 p.m. My name is Robin Jankowitz, and this is the Napa Valley Unified School District Board of Education. The NVUSD Board of Education is holding a regular board meeting tonight that all can participate remotely via Zoom or in person here in the boardroom. Interpretation in Spanish is available for tonight's virtual board meeting. Our interpreters are Isidra Mencos and Francisco Meza. May we please have one of the interpreters translate the directions on our English channel so our Spanish-speaking families can hear the instructions.
Of course. Buenas tardes, bienvenidos. Mi nombre es Robin Jankowitz, y esta es la Junta de Educación del Distrito Escolar Unificado de Napa Valley. El NVUSD está celebrando una reunión regular de la Junta esta noche en la que todos podrán participar de forma remota a través de Zoom o en persona aquí en la sala de juntas. La interpretación en español está disponible para la reunión virtual de la Junta de esta noche. Nuestros intérpretes son Isidra Mencos y Francisco Meza. Para acceder a los servicios de interpretación, en un momento aparecerá abajo de sus pantallas un símbolo de globo terráqueo. Ahí pueden hacer clic y luego escoger el idioma Spanish o español. Y si se está uniendo mediante un teléfono móvil, va a haber 3 puntitos en su pantalla de Zoom en la parte de arriba que dice More o más. Ahí puede hacerle clic, activar la función de interpretación al español. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Meza. May we please start with an attendance roll call from Vera Morales, Executive Assistant.
Yes. Student Board Member Gomez,
Present.
Trustee Jankowitz,
Present.
Trustee Gracia,
Present.
Trustee Water,
Present.
Trustee Reiser,
Present.
Trustee Gonzalez Mares,
Present.
Trustee Shu,
Present.
quorum present. Thank you.
Thank you, Vera. Thank you for joining us tonight for our Napa Valley Unified School District Board meeting. Public participation tonight and moving forward will be both virtual online and in person here in the boardroom. Directions on how to participate via Zoom are available at nvusd.org/board. Trustee Water, will you please report out on closed session items?
Nothing to report from closed session.
Thank you very much. The flag salute. Executive Cabinet, would you like to lead us in the flag salute this evening? Yes. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This meeting is live streamed and recorded via Zoom and will be archived on the district YouTube channel. For a detailed review of any meeting agenda item, the archived video can be referenced and located on the district webpage at nvusd.org. The public can join the virtual board meeting remotely via Zoom, and participation instructions and the process for public comment can be found on the district webpage. I'd like to get approval of the agenda. May I get a first?
Move to approve.
First by Trustee Gracia
Second.
and a second by Trustee Chu. All in favor?
Aye.
The agenda is approved, and we're going to move on to approval of the minutes. Approval of the minutes on July 19th. Trustee Water and Gonzalez Morris, please abstain.
Move to approve.
First by trustee Gracia,
Second.
second by trustee Riser. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions?
Abstain. Abstain.
Thank you. And we'll move on to approval of the minutes on August 4th, 2022 first.
Move to
motion?
approve.
First by trustee Gracia,
Second.
second by trustee Riser. All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
I abstain.
Thank you very much. Recognition of visitors and employee organizations. Dr. Massetti?
Yes, I'd like to welcome this evening President Leslie Walder, who serves as the president of NAPS. I see that she's here this evening. Ms. Walder, would you like to address the board? You can promote her to panelists, please.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me?
We can. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Good evening, Dr. Musetti, President Jankowicz, members of the Board of Education, student representative, and members of the Napa Valley Unified School District community. I'm Leslie Walder. I'm the president of NAPS, the Napa Association of Pupil Services, representing our school psychologists, speech language pathologists, social workers, and behaviorists. It has been a wonderful start to the new school year. There's much to learn as we've reconfigured our schools, and I am continuing to meet new students. And I'm grateful for another year with students back in person. Thank you all for your work on the behalf of our student community, and I look forward to tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Walder.
My pleasure.
We also in the boardroom tonight have a trustee from Area 4, the Napa County Office of Education. Trustee Ann Cash is here. Would you like to say anything this evening, Ms. Trustee? Thank you. Okay, great.
Well, welcome and thank you.
Right.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome. Thank you both for being here this evening.
And Mr. Cash, I seem to remember, weren't you once on the Napa Valley College Board? On the foundation, that was it. A long time ago, right? I still remember, kind of.
Okay,
That's it for tonight.
thank you. Members of the, on public comment on non-agenda items, members of the audience may address the board on any school-related matter that is not on the agenda. The board will not take action on any issue raised during this section of the agenda inasmuch as board action is limited to posted agenda items. Speakers are requested to limit their comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Trustee Water, do you have any public comment that was received via email at publiccomment@nvusd.org?
No public comment or comments on non-agenda items were submitted via email before 8 a.m. this morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michaels. Do we have any public comment?
We do not. There is no public comment online.
Okay, thank you very much. I do believe we do have some public comment on non-agenda items in the boardroom this evening. Who would like to go first? Welcome. Sweetheart, we're going to turn the mic on.
There we go. Okay.
Hello, dear Napa Valley Unified School District Board of Education Superintendent and our community. My name is Norma Arlene Ortiz, and I'm an 8th grader at Redwood Middle School. My first day of school experience has been refreshing. For example, it was new yet so exciting. I got to meet new people, friends, and teachers. My favorite subjects so far are social studies and math. I really enjoy the school environment as they all have been very welcoming. For the first few days, we started to build relationships, engage, and interact in different school happenings and academics. I love to help around the classroom and make sure my classmates are caught up with their classwork. Overall, this whole experience has been great, which helps us all continue to socialize and learn from each other interpersonal skills. I am doing my best in terms of teamwork and leadership, which I feel there's always room for improvement. We have students who come from other schools, which is awesome as this opportunity brings more diversity of opinions and insight. In orientation last week, I met a new student from Peru, a sixth grader, on the first day of school. After introducing myself to her, I reassured her that I would always be there to support her in any possible way, guide her in our campus as time permits. I like to help others in need to learn English language. It is important to me that she and other newcomers, like everyone else, has a voice because all students are important. If one grows, we all grow as a community. I want to thank our principal, Mr. Hartnett, assistant principals, community liaisons, office staff, teachers, counselors, and all people that give their time and passion to help us in our learning and to be great citizens. And of course, my mother, who's a very important role model in my life. Let's continue to strive and have a great academic year, Redwood Warriors. Thank you board for taking space and time to hear me. Hola, querida mesa directiva de educación del Distrito Escolar Unificado del Valle de Napa, superintendente y nuestra comunidad. Mi nombre es Norma Ortiz y soy estudiante de octavo grado en la secundaria Redwood. Mi experiencia en mi primer día de clases ha sido refrescante. Por ejemplo, muchas novedades, pero a la vez muy emocionante. Conocí gente nueva, mis amigos, e hice nuevos amigos también. Mi materia favorita hasta ahora es el estudios sociales y matemáticas. Realmente disfruto del ambiente escolar, ya que todos han sido muy acogedores y el recibimiento ha sido muy lindo. Durante los primeros días comenzamos a construir relaciones, participar en muchas maneras e interactuar en diferentes eventos escolares y académicos. Me encanta ayudar en el salón de clase y asegurarme de que mis compañeros están al día con el trabajo de clase. En general, toda esta experiencia ha sido genial, lo que nos ayuda a todos a continuar socializando y aprender unos de otros, desarrollando destrezas y habilidades interpersonales. Estoy haciendo todo lo posible en términos de trabajo en equipo y liderazgo, yo siento que siempre hay espacio para seguir creciendo y mejorando. Tenemos estudiantes que vienen de otras escuelas hasta países, lo cual es increíble, ya que esta oportunidad trae más diversidad de opiniones y conocimientos. En la orientación de la semana pasada conocí a una nueva estudiante de Perú de sexto grado. El primer día de clase, después de presentarme con ella, le aseguré que siempre estaría allí para apoyarla de cualquier manera posible, guiarla en nuestro campus según el tiempo lo permita. Me gusta ayudar a otros que necesitan aprender el idioma inglés. Es importante para mí que ella y otros recién llegados, como todos los demás, tengan voz, porque todos los estudiantes somos importantes. Si uno crece, todos crecemos en comunidad. Y gracias a mi madre, que es un modelo para seguir. Seguimos esforzándonos y tengamos un gran año escolar. Gracias.
Thank you very much. Norma, please.
Hello, dear Napa Valley Unified School District Board of Education, Superintendent, and our community as a whole. My name is Norma Ortiz. I am a parent of an 8th grader at Redwood Middle School. I want to take the time to welcome all of our new returning and students who have graduated from Redwood Middle School and continue their path throughout our district, and of course, other school sites all around our district. I want to also appreciate Mr. Frank Silva, principal at Browns Valley, his office staff, teachers, leadership students, alumni for providing such a welcoming and inclusive space, not only for my two nieces, but for every student there. An exemplary reflection of excellent leadership and what a lot of parents want to see, community and other in action. Today was their first day of school and they loved it. And also the school climate culture is a full delight, a place where you could tell that everyone looks after each other, cares, and demonstrates love and empathy for others. An impressive ecosystem of cariño affection. Ms. Susan Miller, Director of Enrollment, thank you for all your warm and attentive support in this process and for taking all of my feedback. Great people skills. Also, Mr. Manguala, who's present. I would really appreciate if the registration process becomes available in paper too, not all online, because several of our families are not tech savvy and we're experiencing some difficulties within the process, navigating the system and uploading documents. I hope several that reached out to me, and I am aware that there was a lot of need, at least at that time. This area is such an important first contact point for our families. Therefore, first impressions matter. I want to thank Mr. Peter Hartnett, principal at Redwood Middle School, for all the support with our Friday ESL English second language class, which resumed back on August 5th, 2022, and the space, as it is serving more than 25 learners, several of our families at the school site, and other parents throughout our district, to emerge into the culture, learn the English language, and build connections, community, among other items. Things I would like to know more about as a parent is how social emotional learning and expression continues to be taught at our school sites around the different grades, communication skills and pathways, how to promote self-reflection and critical thinking skills. Within this context, how are students feeling comfortable to share their experiences and perhaps open up to the world stimuli with positive experiences, and how to deal with conflict resolution in meaningful ways? How does equitable access to rigorous and relevant core academic subjects look like? When we'll be hearing a little bit more about ELP opportunities, but also encourage writing, poetry, and STEM for all students. Identify the survey access hurdles for students and parents. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ortiz. I believe that's it for public comment. Thank you. Moving on to Board of Education and Student Board Representative reports. Student Board Rep Gomez, would you like to start us off?
Yes, thank you. So just an update on a few things in these early days of the school year. First, there's a general sense of relief and feeling of comfort in the fact that most students are feeling largely unaffected by COVID-19 on campuses. This is really the first beginning to a school year that feels almost normal since 2019 and 2020, which is really a great thing for us. And personally for me, I feel that I'm able to better connect with other students around school without the looming threat of COVID and the constant worry of feeling the need to mask and social distance, which I know is also the case for many other students. Secondly, the California mandate that public high schools are to start no earlier than 8:30 has already had an effect on the schools that have pushed back their start times for this year. I know that at Vintage, we started at 8 o'clock last year and now at 8:30 for this year. And this has incentivized a greater number of students to take what we call at Vintage early flight, which is an optional class period that begins before the official first period of the day, because along with the normal start time, early flight has been pushed to a later time as well. And this means that these students are able to get out of school earlier and allows for more free time in the afternoon to take care of their jobs, sports, and other extracurriculars. So I think this change has been a real positive. And then finally, a message for students or parents of students who are looking to apply to colleges. On Thursdays, the Napa County Library will have a visitor from the College Made Clear organization who will be helping students with the application process. These dates are September 8th, September 15th, September 22nd, and September 29th from 4 to 5:30, again at the Napa County Library. And it is also free of charge. And that concludes my report.
Excellent report. Thank you very much. Trustee Chu.
So welcome to the 22-23 school year. My kids started school, one in high school this year. It's been a ride, just kind of letting go. And then I also have a 5th grader that's in his last year in elementary school. So that's another milestone for us. So I wasn't here last time, so I get to go all the way back to June to report out. So on June 29th, I actually joined Dr. Massetti and a couple of our other NVUSD community members at Skywalker Ranch to be on an Edutopia panel to discuss our experiences during the whole pandemic schooling and as a parent and a trustee. So they got 2 for 1 from me. So that was a really nice experience. Didn't meet anybody that we may want to meet there, but it was fun anyway.
Where was George Lucas that day?
Yeah, we were really looking for George Lucas, but he was not around.
Trustee Water is wondering where Chewbacca was.
Right. On July 1st, I attended the Climate Now award ceremony for our former student board rep, Emily Bitt. Really proud of her and her and yes, Lisa Koresh as well. On the 20th of July, I listened in on the budget perspective workshop by CSBA. And on August 10th through 11th, I fielded a couple calls from some American Canyon councilmen, Mark Joseph, Pierre Washington, and David Oro about one of the agenda items we have on our agenda today about the property in the Napa Junction, the old Napa Junction. And on the 11th, I also attended virtually the Advisory Commission on Charter Schools meeting. And on the 16th, I attended the NVUSD Welcome Back for Employees at ACHS. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Chu. Trustee Gonzalez Maris.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I was excited to be at the August 15th NVUSD Welcome Back here at the front lawn at the district's office. My takeaway was meeting 5 new teachers that were going to start. One was kindergarten, 1st, 3rd, and I think 5th grade. So just to see this really cool cohort coming in of teachers and really great to see many excited faces, similar to the students. I think that just felt like very refreshing year to start. And then on this past Monday, and this was a request before the summer ended, was to conduct a presentation to a parent leadership group from one of our fellow nonprofits that the district partners with Parents Can this past Monday. And Dr. Massetti with Viviana Loretta presented to a group of parents, and it was very great to see. I had not seen a presentation of all the different ways parents can participate in activities regarding their students, whether it has to do with our DLAC, ELAC, or Title I meetings. So it was really great to see all the different opportunities for these parents that have gone through leadership to want to engage more. And then I look forward to resuming my school site visits now that school has started. So looking forward to that.
Thank you very much. Trustee Reiser.
Thank you so much. I also attended on the 11th virtually the State Advisory Board meeting regarding charter schools. And then it was really nice on the 15th and the 16th to attend the two, first on the 15th at Napa here at the district office, then on the 16th at American Canyon High School, our welcome back to all employees gathering in the morning. I'm just really happy to have that opportunity to see all of the staff kind of getting ready. And I think the general sense I got is that teachers and staff were feeling readier and kind of had fuller tanks of fuel at the end of this summer break than last summer. So Just nice to have a chance to express my gratitude to all of our employees, along with all the rest of the board and cabinet, and wishing everybody an awesome school year. And other than that, we resumed our committee meeting this week. So I attended the Curriculum and Student Support Committee meeting as well on the 24th. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Riser. Trustee Water.
I too attended the virtual meeting with my colleagues and the Charter School Commission. And then on the 15th, I did back to school event here at the Ed Center. And it was fun to see a lot of my old friends with whom I used to work. And it was gratifying to see a former student of mine, Taylor Willis, who is going to be teaching social studies at Napa High School. And she was also a terrific basketball player as well as a good student. So I think it's great when one of our students wants to come back and work for us. And also the next day I went out to American Canyon High School and saw a lot of old friends, people I taught school with way back when I worked at American Canyon Middle School. So I'm looking forward to the new year and starting up my school visits again, although I'm going to have to work hard to catch up with David. I noticed you've got a lot booked already.
Thank you, Trustee Water. Trustee Gracia.
Yeah, so on the 11th, I also attended the ACCS hearing with regard to the charter appeal. And then on the 15th, I too attended the Welcome Back to School here at the Ed Center. And then on the 24th, it was the curriculum meeting.
Well, I was a week premature when I welcomed back students last board meeting, so I'm just going to read my comments again. Welcome back to all students, families, faculty, and staff. Thank you to all of operations who worked tirelessly all summer to make sure our facilities and grounds were ready for the 22-23 school year. Thank you to the staff that made sure that our schools were prepared to welcome everyone back on each and every campus. Hope everyone had a rejuvenating, restful, and relaxing summer. Summer allows, I think, all of us to reflect upon the previous year, and I want to express my gratitude again to faculty and staff for their contributions and dedication to our students. The magic of those contributions over the last few years cannot be adequately measured. We recognize the camaraderie and community you created amongst peers, the continued and caring outreach to families, and the steady hand extended to each student as they navigated their way back to what we can only call their new normal. And I'm very grateful to hear from Student Board Rep Gomez that there is a normal again. I believe this academic year is going to be a year of promise, new beginnings, new relationships, and the joy that comes from watching our students learn, blossom, and succeed. I too attended the via Zoom, the State Charter Commission meeting, and I continue with a large volume of community outreach. Dr. Massetti. Hold on one second.
We have not met.
City of American Canyon.
We have not met.
City of Napa.
Have not met.
Town of Yountville.
We have not met.
Dr. Massetti.
Great. Well, thank you. It's great to hear from all of the trustees and student trustee Gomez. So good evening to all of you and to the NVUSD community at large. Tonight, I want to officially congratulate all of the Napa Valley Unified School District, site administrative teams, support staff, teachers, and all district office departments for successfully opening the 2022-2023 school year. The hard work, dedication, and care that goes into being prepared to receive students and families at the start of the school year cannot be understated. So congratulations to all of the NVUSD family. It's been personally amazing for me to visit sites this past week. I've been to a third of our campuses in this first week, and I will continue my first round of visits over the next couple of weeks ahead. The campuses look clean and maintained. So I want to thank our custodians and our maintenance staff who worked hard all summer to ensure the campuses were ready. Seeing the students' enthusiasm and excitement for a new school year, whether they are a transitional kindergartner, because there's a lot more of them now, 4-year-olds just getting started or a senior in high school, like student trustee Gomez, gearing up for their last year, like he is. It's always just so motivating and inspiring to see that first day and first week of school energy. I know when I talked to many of our students this last week and heard about their hopes for this upcoming school year, I was instantly reminded of our purpose. It's also inspiring to observe the alignment between the governance work that happens here in the boardroom and activities out at our schools. I was both humbled and inspired during my visits at Silverado Middle School, Unidos Middle School, and American Canyon Middle School. Do not worry, Redwood. Are you listening to me, Ms. Ortiz and Ms. Ortiz? Do not worry, I'm on my way there. I'll be visiting Redwood very soon. Last year, the board set an annual priority focused on the redesign of our middle schools, and I saw the implementation of the redesign in action just in this first week. I observed teaming as students worked on their team identities and norms at Silverado. I think they were talking about being badgers and wolves at the 6th grade. The successful integration of new staff and students into the respective middle school communities, and outstanding foundational math instruction all in the first week of school, in addition to bilingualism and biliteracy being celebrated in the classroom at Unidos. I want to thank Director Monica Reddy and the middle school principals, along with all the NVUSD middle school staff, for breathing full life into the plans that were developed about a year ago. My favorite moment, though, was consoling a first grader with Principal Ted Ward at Alta Heights, who was crying because she missed her mom. Mr. Ward and I leaned into our theme of the year, that every interaction matters, and the ecosystem of cariño, affection, framework for our management team that we were all trained on. We both slowed down during our busy walk of the campus. We paused and we made sure that a child felt safe, seen, and heard in a moment of challenge. It made me miss being an elementary principal. While on that campus, I observed Mr. Ward greet every student that came across our path during the hour that I was there by their first name, reminding me that it is through a relationship infused with care and compassion that impactful learning can take place. So go Gators. A short ways away, I also visited Vichy Elementary alongside Principal Zali Zickman. I saw our physical education teachers in action. This was also a wonderful reminder of our expanded enrichment opportunities being implemented this year in 22-23. Because of the board's efforts focused on increased fiscal stewardship and responsibility, we've been able to expand the physical education and music programs for elementary students across all of the elementary schools. It's again inspiring to see how the challenging governance work has positioned our organization to expand high-quality program to a greater number of students with physical education and music specialists, all while our elementary classroom teachers attain more time to prepare for high-quality lessons in core subjects for their students. So it's a win-win for all. So with that great news from the first week of visits, I will end my report. I do want to wish everyone continued success in these first weeks of school. And now I'm going to turn it over to my assistant superintendent so that they can report out on the work happening in each of their divisions. But before I do so, I just want to personally thank the 4 of them. I'm leading the work across the 4 divisions to ensure, again, that we have a successful opening from school. It takes a tremendous amount of dedication and leadership in their senior roles, and they really are the best in class. So I want to thank Assistant Superintendent Page, Mangwala, Andrew Jennings, and Pearson for their hard work over the course of the last couple of months. So let's hear from them now, and we will kick off with Assistant Superintendent Dana Page, who will report out on the work happening in the Human Resources Division.
Good evening, President Jankowicz, Board of Trustees, Dr. Massetti, and Student Board Representative Gomez. So prior to the first day of school on August 16th, I had the opportunity to welcome back our substitute teachers. It was a pleasure to meet some new and some returning substitutes and provide information to them so they can be successful in their very critical roles. I want to thank Sarah Knox, Veronica Aguayo, Kirsten Gerhart, and Kendra Parsons from instruction, Kimberly Vicky from special education, and Lisa Bailey, our new subfinder, for sharing your time and knowledge with our substitute teachers. We have archived the presentation materials so we can continuously train and onboard new substitute teachers throughout the year as they are hired. Hopefully more and more and more of them. I'm looking forward to our Human Resources Department annual retreat, which will be held here in the Ed Center tomorrow. This is our opportunity to take a brief break from the daily routine of the HR office to connect with the district strategic plan and the board priorities in detail and create an action plan specific to our department. We began this new tradition last year and found it to be a very valuable way to connect with the broader district vision and illuminate the purpose of our HR work in serving students. Lastly, I'd like to highlight some changes in the HR department as of July 1st. We have 4 people in new positions. Maria Lara is our new certificated technician taking care of teachers, nurses, counselors, psychologists, speech language pathologists, and our managers. Ellie Pena Tamayo is now supporting all of our instructional support personnel, including campus supervisors, health clerks, and LVNs, while Alice Calipes is now in charge of athletic coaches, all classified interviews, and receives visitors in the HR office. Last but not least, Lisa Bailey has taken on the role of subfinder and is in charge of placing all of our substitute teachers. So this amount of transition in HR during our busiest time of year has been very challenging. I want to commend all of our staff who are either learning a new role, training someone else in a new role, or doing both simultaneously. So thank you also to all the NVUSD employees who've been very patient with us as we grow and learn in our department. Thank you. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Page. We'll continue with Assistant Superintendent Rob Manguala, who oversees business services.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to update the board and the community. The Enrollment Center and the data and assessment team have been busy processing and monitoring enrollment numbers since the start of the school year. We're pleased to share that as of today, we have 16,078 students enrolled in Aries, only 11 students short of this year's overall projection. With enrollment slowly and steadily increasing each day, we expect that the total enrollment on Census Day in October will meet or exceed projections, but it is still much lower than it was last year. As we expected, our kindergarten cohort is much smaller than cohorts in other grade levels. This is due to declining enrollment. For example, the kinder cohort size is 934 versus the 12th grade cohort of 1,549. So as you can see, over time, cohorts of about 900 will be working through our system versus cohorts of 1,500. With this said, some schools are exceeding their projections, including Alta Heights, Canyon Oaks, Donaldson Way, West Park, American Canyon Middle School, Valley Oaks, and Independent Studies. The enrollment office is gearing up for open enrollment, which will begin in mid-October. Valuable feedback was collected from families this month, which is helping inform shifts as we move from an enrollment model that reflected the pandemic and school closure. The technology department has had a very busy start to the school year. Our team has been hard at work supporting students and staff across the district, completing over 500 work orders, deploying over 200 new devices to staff and students, and offering much needed training for new systems being deployed this year, all in the last 2 weeks. We also recently completed the installation of the new audio video system in the Evans Auditorium. The theater team successfully ran a live streaming event this week and will continue to test the system in advance of upcoming events in the fall. The business office is in the process of closing the books. We are also watching revenues at the state level, which have had a shortfall for the last 2 periods. We'll watch this early indicator very closely as revenues continue to come in, and we'll continue to watch for early indications of a recession, which is likely brewing. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Manguala. We're going to have Director Sarah Knox come up to the podium. She will be presenting this evening on behalf of Assistant Superintendent Andrew Jennings for the Instructional Services Division. Thank you, Ms. Knox.
Thank you, Dr. Mercetti. Good evening, President Jankowicz, Board Trustees, Dr. Mercetti, Student Representative Gomez, and the NVUSD community. Tonight, I'm standing in for Assistant Superintendent Andrew Jennings to provide a brief update on the work of the Instructional Support Services team. It's been such a joy for all of us to welcome our students back to school. Site leaders and staff at each site have embraced the concept of creating ecosystems of cariño and are kicking off this new year with a renewed focus on reconnection, creating a sense of belonging, and making every interaction matter. Sites are putting our clearly articulated system-wide plan into action from day one and laying a foundation for creating caring communities of learners with a focus on high expectations and rigor with support for all students. The Secondary Instructional Support Services team launched the year with a focus on Board Priority 1, improving TK-12 mathematics programming and student mathematics achievement outcomes. 32 secondary math and special education teachers attended training with Dr. Tammy Heffelbauer, focused on how to plan units and lessons with proficiency scales. Staff worked in grade level and course-alike teams, planning their year with a focus on using proficiency skills to build student clarity and support students engaging in high-quality interactions. Staff who could not attend received a follow-up training on Wednesday, August 24th, so that all staff are focused on clarity, feedback, and progress monitoring during the school year. On Tuesday, August 16th, we kicked off the first of 3 pilots as part of the secondary history social science adoption process for 22-23. All middle and high school history social science teachers received training on the digital learning platform and associated text for our first curriculum. For 6 weeks, teachers will utilize these resources and provide feedback using the district lens developed in the spring by the NVUSD History Social Science Steering Committee. We look forward to hearing from staff as they use these materials and reflect on how they best support student engagement and learning. This inclusive and comprehensive pilot process supports Board Priority 2, and that a strong pilot and adoption process is foundational to the implementation of curriculum adoptions to support the teaching of content-based reading. That concludes my report. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Knox. And we will have Assistant Superintendent Mike Pearson report out on the work of the Operational Services Division.
So good evening, President Jankowicz, NVUSD Board of Education trustees, Dr. Massetti, Student Board Representative Sam Gomez, and members of the NVUSD community. I do want to thank you for the opportunity to provide you with an update with Operational Services Act, but I am going to forego this report so that we can have a more lengthy facilities and bond program update at tonight's board meeting. Thank you.
Assistant Superintendent Pearson. Okay, let me repeat that. We hope the public can appreciate what we have done with Measure H, but we do know that there is much more work to do. Assistant Superintendent Pearson and I believe Ms. Jurgensen are here this evening to bring us up to date. Mr. Pearson, would you like to start us off?
Yes, so thank you, President Jankowicz. I'd like to introduce Kelly Jurgensen. She is the Vice President for Van Pelt Construction Services and is the construction management firm that has been overseeing our Measure H projects. And she's going to provide you with an update of our progress on our construction projects that were happening over the weekend, over the summer. Thank you.
Yeah. He actually has been working every weekend, so that's why that slipped out.
Yeah.
Welcome, Ms. Jurgensen.
Thank you, President Jankowicz, trustees, and Dr. Massetti. I do have a presentation. I think Jordan's got it ready for me. Hopefully, there we go. Thank you, Jordan. All right, so we are going to be doing a presentation on what was accomplished over the summer with Measure H funds. So we can go ahead and go to the next slide. So we're going to basically be revisiting the presentation that you received at the beginning of the summer and let you know how we did on finishing up these projects. So here is the list of items that we worked on this summer: campus modernization, security fencing, finishing kitchens, the middle school student commons, and our summer to-do list. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So as the board's aware, we did a campus modernization project at 3 sites this summer: NVLA, Napa High Gymnasium, and Redwood Gym. Both of those gyms were the original gyms, the larger of the 2. At Napa High and Redwood, we replaced roofing and HVAC equipment and did some site work required by DSA. At NVLA, they got a much heavier touch. They got all new paint, new site work, backpack hooks, new roofing, as well as new HVAC equipment and other miscellaneous items, signage and a lot of stuff. So it was a big push to get that done this summer. And here's a couple photos of what the site looks with its little refreshment on the outside, which was really nice to see. Good. And Assistant Superintendent Pearson can take credit for the paint selection. All right. And we also worked on lots of campuses getting security fencing up. We are wrapping up at New Tech, Phillips, Alta Heights, Northwood, and Bel Air, which are all in the punch list phase. So we had our managers walking around and giving a list of things that needed to be corrected, locks that aren't quite right, and things like that. So we're wrapping that up. And NVLA, it was a busy summer at NVLA, so we're following up now in the fall with fencing at that location. Also, if you're looking here, the top left is Northwood, the right is New Tech, the bottom left is Phillips, and the bottom right is Alta Heights. That is the back gate at Alta Heights, which used to just be a pole gate or a pull gate, and a lot more secure now coming in from the back side of that campus.
And if I can just interrupt for a second here. So we have heard from all principals at each one of these sites. Well, the sites that have been completed and are in the punch list phase, and reports from all the principals are they quote unquote, they love the fencing. So it's just a really positive addition to the campuses. And they're feeling, very secure, but just liking the fact that their campus is much more secure and complete now with the security fencing.
All right, thank you. We can go to the next slide. All right, finishing kitchens that worked this summer. So we did complete work at Bel Air, and that is up and running. Food Services is using that space. NVLA is under construction right now. We didn't want to strain Food Services too much because this work can't get done in a summer. So we kind of layered these projects concurrent to one another. So we impacted Bel Air in last school year, and now we're impacting NVLA this school year. So you can see that's where we're at over at NVLA right now, and Bel Air is up and running.
Kelly, can you take a minute and just walk through the different types of equipment that are in the Bel Air
Sure.
one and explain, so the additions that we put into the finishing kitchens for me, please?
Absolutely. So you're looking at top and bottom, the glass doors are combi ovens. So they do both steaming and regular oven functions. There are warming cabinets. There is a scullery, and then there is refrigeration and freezer. And Bel Air is unique because it doesn't have a dishwasher. That is a very long story that has to do with structural elements of the building. But all the other finishing kitchens do have dishwashers as well. All right, I think that's it. They also get hot wells for serving. Can't see that in the picture. All right, now to my really exciting slide, the one that I really wanted to do today. So we have completed construction of the new Student Commons facility over at American Canyon Middle School. The site improvements are wrapping up. There's still some work to do over there. Campus-wide exterior painting is complete, and we have removed the portables. So really, really exciting stuff happening. It feels like a whole new school when you walk on campus. So we really wanted to give the board an opportunity to kind of feel what the students felt when they walked around on campus. So we do have a short video for you to take a look at. And when you look at that video, keep in mind that we still have to stripe the basketball court. So there's a little blank space in the middle. You might wonder why people aren't walking in that area. That's why. So we can go ahead and hit that link, Jordan. Thank you.
Okay, it'll just take me a couple seconds.
I have to interject. I actually went to take a peek and this video does not do it justice. It is such a 180 after having been through, the construction last year with my son being on campus. This is amazing. And that is the feedback I'm getting from all the students that are on campus this year. They just were in awe. So thank you.
Yeah, not that I want to take us backwards, and always look forward, but I do just want to remind everyone that this, we made the difficult decision of not building a second middle school in American Canyon due to declining enrollment across the district and projected declines in our future. But it's been amazing to be able to repurpose some of the dollars and just really enhance the campus that is there for our largest middle school in the system. So I think it's a great opportunity to reflect on. Sometimes you make difficult decisions, but if we can be patient, we can see the positive results of responsible decision making. And this is a phenomenal campus now for the middle schoolers in American Canyon.
I love looking backwards. It's one of my favorite things. And in the fall of 1999 through spring of 2000, I worked at American Canyon Middle School, and it was quite new then. And this is just a revelation. I mean, the school is really over 20 years old, and it looks better than it looked when it had just been built. So congratulations, really well done.
And Mr. Pearson, the ribbon cutting for that will be next month.
So thank you, Dr. Massetti. So we're looking at targeting the week of September 21st, I believe. Haven't exactly picked a date, but we do want to have a ribbon cutting event at the Student Commons and take you inside so you can see not only the outside, but also the inside. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge the great partnership NVUSD has had with Van Pelt Construction Services. This is actually the first project the major project that the school district and Van Pelt have actually been able to partner on from start to finish.
Right.
All the other major projects that we inherited them at some level of application that they were in. And I'm just going to toot our horn, but I think we did one heck of a job.
Oh, yes, you did.
Collaborating together.
Yes, you did.
On this particular project, and just showed you the type of work that we're capable of doing as a collaborative team. It takes more people than just myself and Kelly Jurgensen and her Van Pelt team to do this. And we were very fortunate with the individuals we selected as a design build model, which was the Arts Builders and PBK Architects. That was their design. But we were able to execute on what they had come up with. And we got incredibly great value for our dollars as well too. And so I don't want to, I want people to know that, and knowing that we did really well with the Measure H money. Won't always be like that. I mean, I hope it is that we always get a great product for the price. But it is truly a collaborative effort, and we're really happy with the outcome, as you can see from just that sort of visual. You can see we will not fly any more drones over students, just so you all know. Okay, but we felt for this particular, we really wanted for you to see how transformative this campus now is, and how the entire campus, the interior of the campus is now activated without that library. The 6 different types of amphitheaters are all in kind of different sizes, but present themselves for learning opportunities, both for the visual and performing arts and for all other subject areas. And just you could see how the students were enjoying all those different spaces that were created there. We happened to on Wednesday, we happened to go visit 2 campuses in the Marin County area, and both of them have some unique projects and in their own right are spectacular. But this is a pretty spectacular project, and I think will be noted for many years. We'll have many people visiting to see what you can do with a student common-like area, and then how we utilize the hardscape as well as synthetic surfaces out there to really activate that interior corridor. So thank you, and I want to just give a shout out also again to Kelly and her team for all their hard work as well.
Thank you. I was nodding because I thought he was going to recognize the contractor and the architect. So not me, but thank you. I appreciate that. I do have one more slide. It's going to feel really boring now because it's water lines and storage buildings. But we also had our normal summer to-do list. There's always small projects going on. So we did relocate to storage facilities that will house files for the district office now. So those will get out of Napa High portables. Napa High School fire water line replacement took place on Kennedy Way. The Silverado Middle School recycled water connection is finishing up. We're waiting on delivery of our pump, and we'll be able to tap into recycled water for irrigation at Silverado Middle School, which is pretty exciting. And we also work really closely with maintenance and operations because they have their own summer projects going on. And so it's really important to communicate with all of our teams. They were working on flooring, HVAC system controls, which is different than our project, and also middle school redesign on all the moves that were associated with that. So that is it for this slide. There we go. Thank you very much. And I also just wanted to say thank you from our firm and from all the firms involved in the Measure Age program. It really creates a lot of business opportunities for a lot of the firms involved, especially the local ones here in Napa. We have a lot of local folks that work on the bond measure construction. So I just wanted to extend a thank you to the board for them as well and the taxpayers.
Well, and the ultimate collaboration is the benefit to our kids. So thank you.
And I do think we need to emphasize, thank you, Kelly, for bringing that up. The taxpayers in
Yes.
American Canyon and the taxpayers here in Napa have allowed us to actualize some transformational projects for our students. So this is just great evidence of what can happen at school sites when we have the local revenues to be able to transform campuses and make these capital improvements to scale. So I love seeing the outdoor learning spaces and the library enhancements. Those are proposed projects that we have in our future proposed bonds. And so information about that is available on our website.
Thank you very much, Dr. Massetti. Okay, H, approval of consent agenda. Background information on these items is provided to the board prior to this meeting. A common motion takes action without discussion on a roll call vote unless discussion of item or items is requested by the board. So may I get a motion?
So moved.
First by trustee first by trustee Water, second by trustee Gracia. Vera, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Student Board Member Gomez.
Aye.
Trustee Jankowicz.
Aye.
Trustee Gracia.
Aye.
Trustee Water.
Aye.
Trustee Ricer.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez Mares.
Aye.
Trustee Shu.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vera. We do not have a presentation or discussion item this evening, so we are now moving straight to action items. First, under general services, resolution 23-03 authorizing continued use of remote teleconferencing provisions pursuant to AB 361 and Government Code Section 54953. May I get a motion, please?
Move to approve.
First by trustee Gracia.
Second.
Second by trustee Riser. Mr. Michaels, do we have any public comment?
There is no public comment for this item.
Thank you. Vera, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Student Board Member Gomez.
Aye.
Trustee Jankowicz.
Aye.
Trustee Gracia.
Aye.
Trustee Water.
Aye.
Trustee Ricer.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez Mares.
Aye.
Trustee Shu.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vera. Under business services, resolution number 2304, declaring property as exempt surplus land.
So moved.
Approve.
First by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Chu. In person, public comment? No. Mr. Michaels, do we have any public comment?
There is no public comment for this item.
Thank you very much. Vera, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Student Board Member Gomez.
Aye.
Trustee Jankowicz.
Aye.
Trustee Gracia.
Aye.
Trustee Water.
Aye.
Trustee Ricer.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez Mares.
Aye.
Trustee Shu.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vera. Human resources. Request to hire educator less than fully credentialed.
So moved.
First by trustee Gracia,
Second.
second by trustee Riser. Mr. Michaels, do we have any virtual public comment?
There is no public comment for this item.
Thank you. Student Board Rep Gomez?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Teacher Residency Capacity Grant, MOU,
Move to approve.
first by trustee Gracia,
Second.
second by trustee Riser. Mr. Michaels, do we have any public comment?
There is no public comment for this item.
Thank you. Student Board Rep Gomez?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 2022-23 salary schedules.
Move to approve.
First by trustee Gracia,
Second.
second by trustee Riser. Mr. Michaels?
There is no public comment for this item.
Thank you. Student Board Rep Gomez?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to instructional services. Agreement between NCOE and NVUSD for Student Behavior Health Incentive Program, SBHIP.
Move to approve.
First by trustee Gracia,
Second.
second by trustee Riser. Mr. Michaels, do we have any public comment?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. Student Board Rep Gomez?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Supplementary instructional material adoption for high schools. May I get a motion?
Move to approve.
First by trustee Gracia,
Second.
second by trustee Chu. Mr. Michaels?
There is no public comment for this item.
Student Board Rep Gomez?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Supplementary instructional material adoptions for middle schools.
Move to approve.
First by trustee Gracia,
Second.
second by trustee Riser. Mr. Michaels, do we have any public comment?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. Student Board Rep Gomez?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Agreement between NCOE and NVUSD for Mental Health Student Services Act, MHSSA.
Move to approve.
First by trustee Gracia,
Second.
second by trustee Chu. Mr. Michaels?
There is no public comment for this item.
Thank you. Student Board Rep Gomez?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Contract between NVUSD and Peter Halakis for NVAE Salvation Army Culinary Instruction 2022-23.
Move to approve.
First by trustee Gracia,
Second.
second by trustee Riser. Mr. Michaels?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. Student Board Rep Gomez?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Operational services. Request to purchase new school bus through piggyback bid number 21222-SC11-01 South County. I'm speaking too quickly. South County Support Services Agency from Creative Bus Sales.
Move to approve.
First by trustee
I
Gracia,
second, but I have a question.
second by trustee Chu. Mr. Michaels?
There is no public comment on this item.
So I just wanted to ask, since we are former student board rep, it was so involved in Climate Now. What is the selection process for these buses? And are we looking at fuel economy in terms of, and looking at how it might impact our environment down the road?
Well, yes, we do that. That's correct. We do. But as I've learned in this is that, I mean, we would ideally, and there's right now there's legislation that looks like there's going to be opportunities for applying for electric buses, which is the direction we would like to go as a school district. The bus that's currently being approved tonight is a bus running on propane, which is a little bit cleaner fuel. We get better gas mileage with that, and it's a little bit cheaper than our current gasoline. But anytime we can reduce our carbon footprint, we want to do that as an organization within our transportation department as well as throughout the entire school district.
And the infrastructure just isn't there quite yet, right, for us to go electric?
Yes, that's correct. We do not have the infrastructure to support electric charge buses. And so we're hoping through this grant process that we will be in line to receive grant funding for that so that we could take advantage of that and slowly but surely move our buses from the compressed natural gas propane to the electrified buses.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Student Board Rep?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Ratification of license agreements with law enforcement agencies for use of facilities for training purposes.
Move to approve.
First by trustee Gracia,
Second.
second by trustee Chu. Mr. Michaels, do we have any public comment?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. Student Board Rep Gomez,
Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to informational under general services. The curriculum committee met, correct, but we've not
Mhm.
posted,
Right.
posted notes. And I don't believe any of the other committees have met, so we will revisit that next board meeting. Human Resources, quarterly report on Williams uniform complaints, no complaints. L, additional suggestions and comments from board members or superintendent. Future agenda items. May I get a motion on adjournment?
So moved.
First by trustee Waters, second by trustee Gracia. I assume we don't have any public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Student Board Rep Gomez.
I think he wants to join.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
And may I note 8:09? At 07, actually.